Everything happens for a reason. Hello everyone, and welcome to Zen Buddhism Wisdom, your sanctuary for exploring the profound teachings of Buddhism and unlocking the timeless truths that shape our lives. Have you ever wondered why certain things happen the way they do? Why do some people seem to face endless struggles while others glide through life effortlessly? Is it all just coincidence, or is there a deeper force at play? Today, we're diving into a profound and life-changing truth: everything happens for a reason. Buddhism teaches that nothing in life is random. Every event, whether joyful or painful, is woven into the fabric of cause and effect, shaping our journey in ways we may not immediately understand. Why does this matter? Because when we grasp this truth, we stop feeling like victims of fate and start embracing life with wisdom, strength, and inner peace. Instead of resisting hardships, we learn to see them as stepping stones toward growth. Instead of fearing the unknown, we cultivate trust in the deeper flow of existence. In this video, we will explore the Buddhist wisdom behind life's events, revealing how you can transform challenges into opportunities and suffering into insight. Before we begin, take a moment to like this video, subscribe to Zen Buddhism Wisdom, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss powerful insights on Buddhist teachings and self-discovery. Now, are you ready to uncover the hidden wisdom behind life's events? Let's begin. Buddhism teaches that nothing happens by chance. Every joy, every sorrow, every success, and every hardship has a cause behind it. This is the law of karma. Our past actions shape our present reality, and our present actions will determine our future. Just as a seed planted in the ground will eventually sprout, the choices we make, whether rooted in kindness or selfishness, will manifest in our lives when the conditions are right. One of the most well-known Buddhist monks, Ajahn Chah, once said, "If you plant an apple tree, you will get apples. If you plant a thorn bush, you will get thorns. You cannot plant hatred and expect love in return." This profound teaching reminds us that our actions, no matter how small, are like seeds. If we plant seeds of kindness, wisdom, and generosity, we will reap the fruits of peace and happiness. But if we plant seeds of anger, dishonesty, and greed, we will experience suffering. Similarly, in the story of Angulimala, a feared murderer in ancient India, the power of karma and redemption is evident. Angulimala, who had killed many people, encountered the Buddha and was transformed by his teachings. Despite his dark past, he devoted his life to compassion and became a revered monk. His past actions had consequences, but his present choices shaped his future. His story teaches us that while karma influences our lives, we always have the power to change the course of our destiny through wisdom and virtue. So how can we apply the law of karma in our own lives? First, we must reflect on our actions. Look at your life today, your relationships, career, and overall well-being. Ask yourself, what seeds have I planted? If you are facing challenges, don't see them as punishments but as opportunities to grow. Second, take responsibility instead of blaming fate. It's easy to blame others or external circumstances for our difficulties, but true wisdom lies in recognizing that our past choices have led us here. Instead of resentment, focus on what you can change moving forward. Lastly, create positive karma. If you want a future filled with peace and happiness, start by cultivating good karma today. Practice kindness, because even the smallest acts of compassion can change lives. Speak with honesty and love, because words have power. Use them to heal, not harm. Live with integrity, because what you do when no one is watching shapes who you truly are. as the Dalai Lama reminds us, if you want to be happy, practice compassion. If you want others to be happy, practice compassion. Karma is not about punishment, it is about learning. Life is a mirror, reflecting back to us the energy we put into the world. When we understand this, we no longer feel like victims of fate but become active participants in creating a better future. Everything in life is in a constant state of change. The Buddha taught that impermanence, anicca, is one of the fundamental truths of existence. Nothing stays the same forever. Pain, failure, and hardship will pass, just as happiness and success will also fade with time. The key to inner peace is embracing this truth rather than resisting it. One of the most famous Zen masters, Shunryu Suzuki, once said, "Life is like a river. It is always moving, always changing. You cannot step into the same river twice." This reminds us that no matter how much we wish to hold on to a moment, a person, or even a feeling, everything is fleeting. Clinging to what is temporary only leads to suffering. We suffer not because things change, but because we expect them to stay the same. Take, for example, the story of the glass cup that Ajahn Chah, the great Thai monk, used to teach impermanence. He held up a simple glass and said, "To me, this cup is already broken. I enjoy it, I drink from it. But when it falls and shatters, I say, of course. Because I understand its nature, I do not suffer." The lesson here is profound. When we truly understand that everything is temporary, we stop fighting reality. Instead of fearing loss, we appreciate what we have while we have it. So how do we apply this wisdom in everyday life? First, when facing difficulties, remind yourself, this too shall pass. No storm lasts forever. If you are going through pain, know that it is temporary. Time, like a river, will carry it away. Similarly, when you experience joy, don't take it for granted. Cherish it fully, knowing that it is a gift of the present moment. Second, practice letting go. Often, we hold on to things, relationships, jobs, or identities, out of fear of change. But resisting change only brings suffering. A monk once said, "Holding on to pain is like gripping a red-hot coal and expecting the other person to be burned." Learning to release what is beyond our control is one of the greatest acts of wisdom. Lastly, learn to be present. Instead of worrying about what might happen tomorrow or regretting the past, fully embrace now. Thich Nhat Hanh, the beloved Vietnamese monk, often taught, "The only moment you have is the present moment. If you miss it, you miss your whole life." Practicing mindfulness, whether by meditating, breathing deeply, or simply paying attention, allows us to experience life more fully. Impermanence is not something to fear. It is what makes life precious. Just as the cherry blossoms bloom for only a short time each year, their fleeting beauty makes them even more special. When we understand this, we stop clinging to the past, stop fearing the future, and learn to live with greater peace, gratitude, and freedom. Every experience, whether joyful or painful, carries a lesson. Nothing happens to you, everything happens for you. The hardships you face are not punishments but opportunities for growth. The Buddha himself endured great suffering before attaining enlightenment, teaching us that wisdom is born from struggle, not comfort. One of the most famous Buddhist masters, Thich Nhat Hanh, once said, "No mud, no lotus." The lotus, a symbol of spiritual awakening, only grows in muddy water. Without struggle, there is no transformation. Similarly, our challenges are like the mud that nourishes our inner strength. resilience, and wisdom. Think of Milarepa, one of Tibet's greatest yogis. In his youth, he made terrible mistakes, using black magic to take revenge on his enemies. Racked with guilt, he sought redemption under the teacher Marpa. But Marpa didn't simply forgive him. Instead, he gave Milarepa impossible tasks, building and destroying houses over and over again. Though Milarepa suffered greatly, he endured, transformed his heart, and became enlightened. His story reminds us that suffering is not the end of the road, it is part of the path to awakening. So, how can we apply this wisdom to our own lives? First, when facing difficulties, ask yourself, what is this teaching me? Instead of resisting pain, look deeper. Perhaps heartbreak is teaching you the power of letting go. Perhaps failure is pushing you toward self-discipline and humility. Every experience holds a lesson, but only if we are willing to see it. Second, turn suffering into a force for good. Ajahn Brahm, a modern Buddhist teacher, tells the story of a monk who was falsely accused and imprisoned. Instead of being consumed by anger, the monk used his time to meditate, reflecting that, I may be in prison, but my mind is still free. Instead of letting hardship break you, let it refine you. Use your struggles to cultivate compassion for others who are also suffering. Lastly, stay open. Life is a teacher, and every moment is a lesson. Some of the most profound wisdom comes from unexpected places, a difficult boss, a painful breakup, a financial loss. Instead of closing your heart, remain curious. As the Dalai Lama reminds us, when you lose, don't lose the lesson. The truth is, life doesn't give us what we want, it gives us what we need to grow. Every challenge is a hidden blessing. Every setback is a stepping stone. And every moment, no matter how difficult, is shaping you into the person you are meant to become. Today, we've uncovered the profound truth that everything happens for a reason. When we understand karma, impermanence, and the wisdom of mindfulness, we stop resisting life and start flowing with it. Challenges become lessons, setbacks become stepping stones, and every experience, whether joyful or painful, guides us toward greater wisdom and peace. But this is just the beginning. If you found these insights powerful, wait until you see our next video on how to break free from negative karma and create a life of true abundance and happiness. There is so much more Buddhist wisdom waiting to be explored. Your path to peace and clarity is in your hands. Start today by practicing mindfulness, embracing change, and seeing every challenge as a hidden blessing. Share your thoughts in the comments. What lesson has life taught you recently? Join our growing community of seekers. Subscribe to Zen Buddhism Wisdom, and together, let's walk this path of enlightenment. Your journey to inner peace begins now. Are you ready?